I married the most dangerous mafia in Africa. The whole underworld was shocked. I, a Ugandan college student, grew up in poverty, met a millionaire mafia, he fell in love, and married. I was not ready for what happened next. This is part 13. If you're new here, I recommend starting from the beginning. I wake up before the sun every morning, not because I slept well, but because my body doesn't know how to sleep fully anymore. It keeps watch even when I don't ask it to. It remembers everything: the chaos, the invasion, the screaming, the hands that didn't belong in our home. So every morning, before anything else, I lie still and I listen. The house is quiet, too quiet. No crashes, no shouting, no heavy footsteps moving through shadows, just the soft hum of electricity, the faint sound of dishes shifting in the kitchen, the low murmur of security staff passing outside. That's all. I sit up. My hand goes straight to my stomach. The baby shifted. And then my eyes go to the locks, the cameras, the windows. I check them, all of them. Locked, secured, silent. Then I check again. My pulse slows a little. Not much, but enough to breathe. I make tea. I hold the cup with both hands and let the warmth settle me while I think through the day. Grocery deliveries, doctor appointment, security rotations, small things, ordinary things. But they are the things that keep this fragile life in rhythm, and I take them seriously. This is what calm looks like for me now. Not peace. Calm. There is a difference. Peace is something you feel in your body. Calm is something you build, something you maintain. You feed it carefully, routines, checks, measured steps, careful words, and if you stop feeding it, it falls apart. I learned that the hard way. So now I treat every ordinary morning like it matters. Because it does. When Thabo comes home, he is tired from meetings, not disappearances. That alone used to make me want to cry with relief. He walks in and I glance up from whatever I'm planning. He nods. That's all. Just a nod. A small recognition. He puts down his things, sits, eats. We don't talk much at dinner, but the silence between us is not empty. It is full. Full of everything we have been through. Full of the understanding that we are still here, still alive, still choosing each other. Small things feel heavy now. A passing glance. His hand brushing mine. Things that would have meant nothing before mean everything now. When you have lived in chaos, ordinary moments become the most precious things you own. At my prenatal checkup, the doctor is talking about stress, about rest, about protecting myself. I nod and I listen, but inside I'm already making other plans. Emergency routes, staff schedules, safe rooms, check-ins. Not because I am paranoid, because I am careful. Because careful is how we stay alive. Thabo is there too, holding my bag, quiet, attentive, not distracted, not checking his phone, not thinking about something else, just present, listening to nothing but me. I let myself imagine the baby growing safely, just a little, just enough to feel something warm. The day the phone call came, I saw it before he even said a word. Thabo's phone rang, discreet, like all his calls, but something shifted in the room. The air changed. He listened. Slow nods, pen over his notebook, voice low and deliberate. Then he said, he's gone. Just that. No drama. No breaking down. His father was dead. The staff knew before I could process it. They didn't panic. They just became more aware. Footsteps lighter, whispers quieter, kitchen quieter. Everything the same on the surface and nothing the same underneath. The baby kicked hard that moment, sharp and insistent. I remember thinking, does she feel it too? The shift of power? The weight of what was coming? Lawyers arrived that afternoon. Clean suits, calm faces. Folders, not guns. They stepped into our home like men who understood the map, even if they didn't own the land. Thabo listened, asked questions, made decisions. I watched him, really watched him, and I saw it happening in real time. Authority landing on his shoulders. Not with fire, not with fear. Quietly, like something heavy being set down on a man who was ready for it. The funeral planning was cold, formal, loaded with expectation. Elders seated themselves at the table like they were testing the chairs, testing everything. They were sharp, probing, looking for softness, looking for weakness. Thabo sat at the head of that table, and I saw him differently in that moment. Not the man I married in private rooms and whispered promises. Something bigger. Something that had always been inside him, but was now fully awake. He answered every question with precision. No excess, no emotion on display, just measured, steady authority. I noticed things changing in the house after that. Less chatter, More documents. Men running errands with purpose, not habit. Risky deals were refused with a nod, just a nod, and that decision rippled quietly through everything. Operations shutting down, the whole house recalibrating. Once, during a tense conversation with the elders, the baby kicked again. I caught my breath, my body reminding me, this is not abstract. This is life. This is what we are protecting. The whispers started soon after Thabo took charge. People said I was softening him, that my presence was making him less sharp, less capable. I heard it in passing comments. I saw it in the looks from associates, the kind that measure loyalty and question it at the same time. Some men delayed following instructions. Others tested quietly, carefully, the way you test a fence by pressing one hand against it. Thabo didn't waver. Calm. Precise. Confident in a way that didn't need an audience. And sometimes, in the middle of all of it, he would look at me, not for reassurance, not for approval, but to include me, to say without words, you are part of this. I learned something in those weeks. My observation matters. My voice matters. Staying was not just survival, it was a choice that meant something. At night, when the guards were outside and the phones were down, we talked. Logistics, risks, boundaries. He spoke, I listened. I spoke, he listened. Then silence. Then slowly, carefully, intimacy returned. Not desperate, not hurried, deliberate. Every touch checked, every glance respectful, nothing careless. When he thanked me for staying, I didn't feel guilt. I didn't feel obligation. I felt something real and quiet and true. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I belonged in the life we were building. Even if it was messy, even if it was fragile, even if it was dangerous, I belonged. Even when the house was finally quiet, the family reminded me that calm is never permanent. The elders gathered one morning, polished suits, sharp eyes. They talked about Thabo's decisions since his father passed. Not directly at first. They never do. It was the comments hidden inside other comments. The pauses that said more than the words. The way they looked at me. She is softening him. Thabo didn't react with heat. He just listened, then quietly, firmly, made it clear that my voice counted. My judgment mattered. My presence was not a weakness. The meeting ended without resolution, but the tension stayed, heavy, unavoidable, like the smell of rain on dry earth. His brothers were subtle too. Sarcastic jokes, small delays in following instructions, dismissive gestures. Not loud, never loud, but I felt the resistance every day. Thabo handled them privately, firm, without anger. Some softened, some never will. Then there was his stepmother. She is a quiet storm, that woman. Every question has another question inside it. Every compliment is a test. Every casual conversation is a way of seeing how you'll react when you're caught off guard. I learned fast. I answer calmly, measured, never defensive, never small. And Thabo, he watches. He lets me navigate. He trusts me to hold my own. And slowly, even she began to show something. Not warmth, but a cautious, unspoken respect. I'll take it. It hit me in the middle of one of those tense family meetings. The elders pressing, his brothers watching with careful eyes. And then, a kick. One small, impossible kick. I froze. My hand went to my stomach, and the whole room, all that politics, all that quiet negotiation, all those measuring eyes, it fell away. There was just her. This small life inside me, kicking like she knew exactly what was happening and wanted me to remember what mattered. Thabo noticed. His hand found mine. Just brushing it. Quiet. Steady. We looked at each other, and something was decided without a single word. After that, he came to every appointment. No posturing, no ego. He sat in that waiting room and listened to the doctor explain things with real curiosity. He asked questions. He carried the vitamins. He adjusted his schedule so I wouldn't be rushed. Small things. Things that didn't need announcing, but I noticed every single one. At home, the nursery became my place of control. I walked every corner, moved things that could fall, checked locks, checked camera angles, arranged the bottles, the blankets, the little clothes, everything in order, everything with purpose. Thabo would come in sometimes and just stand quietly watching, maybe offering a small thought, but the decisions were mine here, and he respected that space. I spoke to her in there, softly, fiercely, like a promise. We will protect you, no matter what. Uganda calls. My mother's voice comes through the phone, soft and loaded. Amina, my daughter, how are you? And Thabo? And the baby? I feel that old pull, the one that used to make me fill silence with excuses and half-truths. But not anymore. I tell her we are careful. We are planning. We are safe. What she doesn't need to carry, I keep. When I hang up, I feel calm. Not the performed calm of someone pretending. Real calm. The calm of a woman who is no longer asking permission. Grace visits. She looks at me with searching eyes, looking for the girl who ran, who feared, who just wanted things to be simple. She asks quietly, "Are you sure you're okay?" I tell her the truth. I am learning. I am deliberate. I am choosing. That is enough. Ruth calls, blunt like always, asking about money and danger and Thabo's past. I answer carefully, deflect where curiosity turns into judgment. I notice something in myself. I no longer explain myself to justify. I explain because I choose to. Even Daniel sends a message. Polite, distant. "Congratulations," he says, "for the baby, for this life you are building." I feel nothing but clarity. He watches from a distance. That's where he stays. One evening, Thabo is holding his phone, reading an invitation. Political, social, the kind that opens doors or stirs enemies. He looks at me first. I say quietly, "This isn't necessary right now. Too many eyes, too many risks." He nods. No argument, no irritation, just understanding. The engagement is canceled, quietly, efficiently. The household moves on like a body that knows its own rhythm. When the elders arrive, I stand to the side. Thabo speaks with calm authority. Operations closed, protocols tightened, the engagement canceled. No pleading for approval. Some frown, some nod. The room adjusts. I watch it all. And I realize my influence is no longer fragile. It is earned, measured, conditional. Yes, but real. That night we sit together in the quiet. No phones, no interruptions, no guards inside. He thanks me, not for surviving, not for being afraid, but for staying, for contributing, for seeing clearly. I place my hand on my belly and feel her move. I think about all of it. The mornings I woke before the sun, the chaos we came from, the careful life we are building, the family that tests us, the baby that grounds us, the love that isn't blind or easy, but is deliberate, earned, chosen every single day. This is not a fairy tale. This is not peace, but it is ours. Functional, conditional, conscious, built with our own hands, protected with our own eyes, chosen with our own hearts. And for now, that is enough.